Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we are going to be talking about shoes. More specifically, we're actually going to be talking about the Hoka Clifton 5s. So these bad boys right here are very dirty because the last triathlon, the running section was off-road, and so they got a decent amount of mud and stuff caked into them. But these are the running shoes that I've been using for little over a year now. Before this pair, I had not owned any traditional running shoes. Everything I owned were just like kind of a generic training sneaker. But this was the first like specific running shoe that I picked up. So to start out with some basic statistics on these are about 7.6 ounces and the heel to toe drop is only 5 millimeters. So as a whole, these are a pretty neutral shoe. You don't have a lot of pronation or supination happening with your foot. You also don't have a lot of cushion on these. While it may seem like there is a decent amount there compared to other running shoes that are on the market, these are actually pretty mid-tier when it comes to cushion, as well as it being a kind of a mid-density EVA foam midsole. So it also doesn't have a lot of compression in the foam itself. Some of the nicer features about this shoe that I quite enjoy are that it kind of has this like midpoint rocker that really helps with catching more in the center of your foot, as opposed to what my issue was very far on the heel. So it kind of helps you trap your foot earlier and helps through the movement of the run, as well as having this kind of like clipped heel that you can kind of see how it sweeps up to also focus that midpoint in your stride. Keep the weight of the shoe down. The outsole is a located outsole, so you have a few areas where you're going to be making higher contact actually having the outsole, as opposed to the whole thing being coated in an outsole. As a whole, I have really enjoyed my time running with these shoes. If you look inside, you can see that there's some patchwork done, not by any fault of the shoe itself, but due to the shape of my feet, I needed a little bit more stability in certain sections. So I've done this on shoes before, just modified it using some like moleskin to provide a little bit more strength and rigidity in certain areas that I know that my foot actually needs help with. My biggest complaints with this shoe, I would say, are my feet get very hot when I'm running. As a whole, I tend to run very warm, and the upper on these, while having a decent amount of breathability and a decent amount of air passed through, when wearing them with socks, become very warm. Now that could be very different for you if you don't have any weird foot heat issue things, I guess. Then having an upper that's a little bit thicker would be okay. But for me, they just get a little bit too warm. And in the next set of shoes, I think I am actually going to go with something that has a little bit more cushion than these. I weigh a little bit more than some people who are the more traditional body shape of a runner, and so I find that my footfalls seem to be very heavy and very hard on my knees, which is also something that I need to work on in my running form. But I want to get a little bit softer of a shoe that I have that ability to start pushing my distance a little bit more while still being extremely comfortable in the footwear that I'm using. As for the quality and construction of the shoe, I'd say that the EVA foam definitely wears down a little bit quicker, but I would say that we're around 200 or so miles in on these shoes, and in my opinion, they're holding up great compared to other shoes that I've seen on the market. Brian's actually running in their newer Carbon X shoe, which actually has a carbon plate in the sole, which is their more race focused shoe and all that kind of stuff. And the bottom of his are completely EVA foam. And so you can definitely see that there's a higher wear rate on those, where since they have these higher wear areas on this shoe, It really helps with preserving the foam, and then it's only depending on the surface that you're running on or some like weird steps that you might take that you actually start wearing away at the EVA foam. But when it comes to this shoe, I would highly suggest this for anybody who's getting into the running space. It is a very beginner-friendly shoe. It is also a nice lightweight shoe, but I would also caution you to actually go to a running store, talk to the sales associate, and them looking at the way you walk, the way that you run, just analyzing the way that your foot actually travels through your motion, they are going to be able to tell you the shoe that would work best for you. So that may not even end up being Hoka. It could end up being Brooks or Saucony or any other shoe that happens to be on the market. I have just found that Hoka is the brand that my foot likes the most, and I will be happily getting another pair of Hokas when that time comes. So thank you very much for watching this video. I know it's a little bit shorter, but I just wanted to talk to you about the shoes that I've been using for my triathlons, but also for my training. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you didn't like it, let me know why you didn't like it. Is there more that you want to know about the shoes, or would you rather be hearing about bikes or the review of the wetsuit? Let me know all that in the comments down below, as well as the subscribe button. Make sure to hit that, as well as the notification bell that's beside it, and that'll let you know every time a new video comes out. But thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.